The one clip I want to show is Jake Tapper. This is the one that I'm showing this morning. That, by the way, this to me made no sense
at all.
But I don't think there's a statistic that is more embarrassing than this, maybe in the history of politics, to say you could not. So, folks, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to see this if you haven't seen it already. Counties. How many counties do you think Kamala Harris outperformed Biden in 2020? Kamala Harris, counties, 2024, Biden, 2020. Watch Jake Tapper's reaction. Go ahead, Rob.
Are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming in 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally not one county?
By 3% or more.
Holy smokes.
Not one county
Bless their
by
hearts.
3% or more.
Yeah.
When it comes to Kamala,
Bless their hearts.
she gave her wonderful speech yesterday, written by Obama, but she gave her speech yesterday, right? And she's saying what she's saying. Is that, I mean, when I woke up this morning, I'm like, who are the happiest people? I ranked who the happiest people are that Kamala didn't win. I said, number one is probably Hillary Clinton. Because
by the way, I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't think she wants Kamala to be the first female president.
Absolutely
She's not at Hillary's level.
No.
By the way, there will be a female president. It'll be a Republican.
Yeah,
I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out. Yeah.
So that's one. Okay. Two, I think the happiest is Joe Biden.
Absolutely.
Okay? Because Joe Biden didn't even stay for whatever, sticking around with her. He stayed 2 miles away from her, by the way. And
he may have voted for Donald Trump.
He may have voted for even Jill Biden. Can you pull up Jill Biden? The dress she wore when she voted. Jill Biden's dress when she voted.
MAGA red.
Did she really wear red?
I don't know.
Are you joking?
Look, there she is. Look at that.
She wore red when she voted.
That's on purpose.
Of course it is.
Obviously.
Okay.
Oh my.
So that's that.
She's bitter. She's deeply bitter.
She may be more upset than Joe.
That's not an accusation. There are people that know her that say she is deeply bitter by what she regards as a coup.
So you got first is that. Number two is Biden. Three is maybe even Kamala. I don't even know if she wanted a job.
I agree with that. I think she was terrified. I think she knew she was in over her head. Let's be honest. Kamala Harris really had no business being vice president. Joe Biden's the one who said, I chose her based on how she looked. Are you kidding me? What a dumb reason to choose anybody. And by the way, how insulting to women out there. This was our first vice president who did pretty much nothing. Did she do anything?
Nope.
Well,
what
she left the border open. She just,
Yeah, she did a great job at opening that border wide open.
Well, first she had to find the border, which was a whole other issue.
Yeah. She finally went on down there during a campaign, right? But I agree with you. I think that she was really kind of relieved that she didn't win because I don't think she knows what the hell to do. What is she going to do as president? That's terrifying. You are the leader of the free world. That is a very big deal. She probably was worried about being vice president, and she just kind of hid in the background and did those weird NASA videos. But do you remember the ones with the kids?
Space.
That.
The vastness of space.
I have my space. Yeah, she was all over the place.
But I think then the fact that she did not win this, probably she's a little bit relieved. Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, and you see the market reacting to this. A part of it, they're like, well, it's not fair. I mean, if you can go, Rob, play one of the clips with The View, with what Sonny is saying, okay? Not the other one. Play the one with what Sonny is saying. And this is very weird, to the point that, one of the co-hosts had to interrupt. Rob, if you want to press play, go ahead. It's kind of weird what to say.
Into the demographics, because black women tried to save this country again last night. 92% of black women voted for the vice president.
All dressed as a
funeral.
funeral.
You have Latinas in the 70 percentile voting for the vice president. What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding.
Wow.
You have Latino men actually voting more for him. And you have, and black men was not the story. We're not the story here because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Right.
So why do you think that uneducated white women voted against their reproductive health freedoms? And why do you think Latino men voted in favor of someone that's going to deport, says he's going to deport the majority of his community.
White women like being called uneducated white women. I think the economy matters, national security matters. But when you put people in these boxes, I think that's a takeaway from this race.
We have to look at the demographics of it.
Wow.
By the way,
So that you can blame, so
scumbag.
you can play identity.
Hey, and by the way, play now the morning Joe, because it's like the complete opposite, but it's not the opposite. He's going after, watch this one. This is just as frustrating. Go ahead.
Say really quickly, too. Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest. And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men, things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States. You know, the Democratic Party, I've always found when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say, oh, white people don't like women and black people. No, it is time for the Democrats to say, okay, and you and I have talked about this before, a lot of Hispanic voters have problems with black candidates.
Right.
A lot
and
of,
with other Hispanics. You've got some that don't like each other. And some of the most misogynist things I've heard going on this Get Out the Vote tour came from black men. I mean, misogynist things. So you're absolutely right. It's not simplistic. And we've got to have real honest conversations about it.
Real honest conversations.
How do you react to that?
This is why they lost. This kind of crap is why they lost. Nobody wants this. This is ridiculous. You know what? You know why people voted for Donald Trump? He had a great track record for 4 years. He did the things he said he was going to do the first 4 years in office. Kamala Harris didn't lay out a single policy point that she could point to other than price gauging. It's price gouging. I don't know what they wrote in her teleprompter. These sort of tactics, I don't think are working on people anymore. And by the way, for Sunny, I think it's something like less than 40% of the voter base in the United States has a college degree. So saying uneducated white women, I think all of this is gross. I think the American people want someone who's going to deliver for them. I think they want somebody who they know they can count on to give them a better economy, more money in their pocket, give us our energy independence again, actually close the border. Donald Trump built over 500 miles of border wall. This kind of stuff is disgusting. And I think this was an election where people are saying, please don't do the identity politics anymore because it's gross.
And it's not working. By the way, this is the data that was shown yesterday.
Yeah.
From Donald Trump 2020 to 2024, black men.
Wow.
Vinny, from 15 to 34. Black woman, 8 to 9. Latino men, 38 to 53. Latino woman, 36 to 48.
Can I ask you a question, Pat? Why? Okay, so the black women, what is the message so hardcore anti-Trump abortion? What is it that makes that group so low that they can't?
That is the anchor, the base of the Democratic Party at this point.
And by the way, the Latinos, they're not voting for Trump. You know why? Because they don't want socialism. Go to ask Venezuelan Americans or Cuban Americans why they're voting for Donald Trump. Because they don't want this place to look like their place.
But you never hear, and I don't know how often you guys watch The Daily Show these days, but it's actually funny again and relevant again that Jon Stewart is there, and they have a woman on there, Desi Lydic. She's actually super talented, and she's humor kind of transcends just sort of speaking on mics. But she's like, so you're telling me that these people voted for Trump, but then also these people, but also these people, but also these people. So everybody voted for Trump. And what you never hear is maybe Kamala, was just a horrible candidate. Maybe she was just really that bad. Maybe it wasn't misogyny. Maybe it wasn't gender.
Right.
Maybe it wasn't race. It was maybe she's a really bad candidate and people are using common sense and they're like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
On Kamala.
That's right.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Or maybe it was the economy, stupid.
All of it.
Maybe
and it's not so much a woman thing.
Be respectful to her.
Thank you, Tom.
I don't think it has anything to do with her being a woman.
It has nothing to do with her being a woman. It has everything to do with her being this particular woman. Because we were talking about Hillary earlier. She has a lot of negatives. One thing you can't say about Hillary is that she isn't smart, qualified.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing. Forget about how you feel. If you just look at resumes, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, come on, guys. It's not even fair. She had no chance.
But I want to ask you a question, though. Laura, I asked you, and you guys could jump in. Do you think if post-debate Trump destroys Biden, they don't do the switcheroo and all that stuff, and they stay with Biden, how closer would this election have been if they just went, riding with Biden off of one debate? How close would it have been? Because this was ridiculous. Would it have made any difference?
I don't think so. I think it would have been the same. I mean, that was such a disaster for him. And the thing is, it really exposed how much they lie. Because everybody before that was like, there's something wrong with Joe Biden. For years, we were all talking about it.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, he's fine. He's running circles around the interns in the White House. Like all that nonsense. I don't think it would have made a difference. I think people ultimately, when they get in a voting booth, and they think about their life, it's the kitchen table issues. It's how is this impacting my day-to-day? I may not love everything that Donald Trump tweets, but I sure as heck like the way my life felt when he was in the White House. I definitely felt like I could put more food on the table for my family. There was a better trajectory, in this country. I think it's over 75% of the country thinks we're on the wrong track. That is what makes a difference. So whether it was Joe Biden, who people obviously think is totally gone. I don't know who's running the country right now. He's still technically the president, by the way.
Yeah. We forget
about Kamala Harris. I don't think it would have made a difference. And one of the things they said up there, by the way, that Sonny said that I think is crazy, or maybe it was one of the other ones on The View, the idea that somehow Latinos in this country don't want to vote for somebody who's deporting illegal immigrants. That has nothing to do with anything. If you are a legal citizen of America, I don't care who you are. You don't want people coming over our border illegally. We have 350 people on the terror watch list right now in America. 15,000 people who've committed sexual assault. 13,000 murderers right now in America that they've just let over the southern border. We don't want any of that in our communities. They want them out too. So it's just like, it's the idea that that's how they've tried to sell Donald Trump for all these years. People are realizing all of that is just fake, and nobody cares about it.
One of the best decisions I ever made in my life was joining the U.S. Army. When I served the 101st Airborne Division Air Assault, the level of pride of America being the greatest country in the world went to the roof. If you are a veteran, or if you support veterans, you have family members, Veterans Day, we have brand spanking new gear for you to choose from, a whole plethora of options of what to choose from, with shirts that say we support armed veterans, I am an armed veteran, dog tags, shirts, hats, all of the different gears that we have. And for the first 250 people that place an order, you have the option of 12 to 15 brand spanking new mugs that we have. One says Angry Patriot, another one says BizDoc, another one has got the U.S. flag, another one has PBD Podcast or Valuetainment or A Future Looks Bright. Go to vtmerch.com, place your order for Veterans Day. These things are going to go very quickly, and you'll get a custom mug that'll be sent your way. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.